Surgical plans are linear pathways with an entry and a target point. A couple things to keep in mind about the surgical plans is they have a measured distance to target from the entry point, and these are visible through all the slices of the CT scan. To do that, we go to this plan icon in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. We're going to pick a point that we're going to make our entry and our target. I'm going to create a target in the sphenoid ostium, and then an entry point just somewhere in the nasal cavity anterior to that. So what you'll see displayed now is you have a distance to target from your entry point here. So that's the total distance of your path. Another thing that you can do here is do a fly-through, a virtual fly-through that shows you what that looks like going through to the target. And if you have a 3D model cut mode enabled, you can see that on the 3D model. Another nice feature for the system is to display that surgical path with the virtual endoscopy. If we want to measure the distance between the orbits or the frontal beak for a frontal drill out, you can do that with a surgical plan. You can simply put the crosshairs on one extent of where you want the drill out to end or begin, and then go to the other side and set that as your entry. And you know that that distance between those 2 points is 18.3 millimeters. So that's going to be the extent of the drilling that the physician does from side to side. Another nice thing about having these target and entry points set up in advance is that as they're navigating with an instrument, it will actually show them how far from those target and entry points that they are. And I can demonstrate that with a cadaver head. So here you can see I'm at, we are very near our lateral boundary that we planned on this side, on the left. And we can actually flip this suction over to the other side, and you can see that we're nearly to our target point on that side. So that's how you can visually use these tools, like the virtual endoscopy as well as the plans that are on the CT images. Going back to the sphenoid plan that we had created earlier, you can see that you're able to use these visual paths because they show up on the views of the CT in any slice. It actually gives your hand a way to guide your instrument to the location that you need by both the virtual endoscopy view or the 3D model view, as well as your CT views. Looking at the screen now, you can see I'm 1.5 millimeter from my planned target on the CT scan. One other more advanced feature with the surgical plans includes a virtual craniotomy as well as the safety margin. Those can be found in this drop-down More menu. So you have these two selections, virtual craniotomy and safety margin. If you open up one of these, and I'm going to recenter our scan, you can see that we have this now tubular structure around our surgical plan. You can actually adjust that diameter with this tool here. And that can give the user sort of a virtual pathway, as well as you can see the boundaries that you want to maybe avoid. The safety margin is a very similar tool where you can adjust the size of the margin and can be utilized the same way. And if I play through our surgical plan, you can see that that one stays pretty much static on your sagittal and coronal view, but you have this arc on your axial that sort of represents that safety margin area.